Selma, directed by Ava DuVernay, is a presentation or motion picture biopic of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quest to lead the 1960s civil rights movement. One of his goals was to ensure equality amongst the right to vote for African Americans in the South, and most prominently Alabama. What the film portrays even further are the arduous sentiments of black citizens fighting against systematic oppressive local, state, and national government, involving portrayals of real-life figures such as King, his cohorts in the movement, his wife, his children, and President Lyndon B. Johnson. DuVernay chooses to tell this brief period of time leading up to the Selma marches and ends shortly following. It encapsulates not the overall biography of his life, but instead remembers the duality of the event, which acted as a step in the direction for his infamous "I Have a Dream" speech. Overall, the film is grounded in a visual approach to the essence of the civil rights movement and remains consistent in tone, dictated by the gravity of unlawful oppression and inhumane acts of violence. Though thematically, to oppose those in power or complacency, the cast mostly remains headstrong in the face of danger. From the number of church or domestic scenes, the people embrace one another's decisions even if there are doubts. Even if some think it all might be fruitless to march forward and greet the familiar fog of death, as King's wife notes, as becoming unwelcomingly close to, their strength derives from their faith in God. God is who King seeks guidance from to lead others from further potential harm, as seen in the second march scene on the bridge. Ideologically, peaceful protest and relying on others are the shining messages of the film. In the end, King's words and beliefs are emboldened by how many people around choose to follow him regardless of their differences or doubts. Instead of showing the whole course of his life until death, leaving a bittersweet impression on the audience who posthumously can see the fruits of his labor that he cannot, Selma becomes more about remembering the power the people can hold, standing together, moved not entirely by death, but by the will to continue in spite of it. Visually speaking, the shallow depth of field even speaks to this sense of narrow-mindedness in some people, as well as centered focus on a particular vision philosophically. The outer edges are blurred, honing in on the center and obscuring the sight of anything or anyone who is not of any immediate importance. What this also does is create a painterly stylistic composition through the digital means. Furthermore, the muted greens, the blues, the pinks all mesh together to leave brown as the dominant tone to parallel with the dominant African American cast, further shaping the perspective of these characters and historical figures to be shown as a sign of togetherness and empowerment. Even with this mentioned, it should be noted how Selma is a biopic and not pure documentary or fictionalized depiction of history. For instance, there are moments which show King as an individual who dealt with issues in an imperfect or humane light. Moments with his wife, his marriage, his arrest, and his doubters all speak to the factual presentation overall, saying even he was not perfect. Through text cards shown throughout, giving a sense of time, place, and interactions, the film takes on a combination of documentary with a biopic narrative at the same time, as a means to shed light on the truth or significance of what events took place.